Welcome to the Business Startup Step-by-Step Guide to Starting Your Business. Welcome to the Business Startup Step-by-Step Guide to Starting a Business. This is a presentation that I hold near and dear because you are all young people wanting to start a business. And I want to be the one to help you with that. So the first thing we want to talk about is the entrepreneur mindset. Before you even begin to think about being an entrepreneur, you've got to change the way you think. You have to change the way you think. You cannot think like a person who goes to work every day. An entrepreneur mindset is different from somebody who goes in to punch a clock or who goes in to work for someone else. So you have to change your mindset. What does that mean? Here's a definition. A person is an entrepreneur who organizes and operates a business or businesses. They take on greater risk than normal. If that's you, then maybe you should be an entrepreneur. If you're afraid of everything, entrepreneurship may not be for you. But if you have the ability to think like an entrepreneur, taking on risk, especially financial risk, then being an entrepreneur might just be for you. So here are 11 mindset traits for successful, notice the word successful, entrepreneurships. You cannot be successful unless, and this is not an all-exhausted list. There are more traits than this. But I picked the 11 that I know for sure will help you to be a successful entrepreneur. Because anybody can say, I'm an entrepreneur, but you want to be successful. And this is how you do it. First, you have the ability to have a positive mental attitude. You have to have a positive mental attitude. Why? Because things are going to happen that are not in your control. And you can't get angry when those things happen. Two, you have to be open to just about anything because ideas can come from anywhere. From the least to the greatest person can give you an idea that spurs your creativity to make your product or your service better. You have to have the curiosity of a child. Did you ever notice little children don't have fear? Little children are curious about everything. And they ask the question, why? You tell them, that's a bird, but why? The bird is flying, but why? That's the same curiosity as an entrepreneur you have to have in order to be successful. Persuasion comes naturally to you. What does that mean? It means when you have a product or a service, you have to believe so much in what you're providing a solution for. Notice I didn't say selling. I said providing a solution for that you're able to persuade any person that needs your solution to come over to your side. So in other words, you have to look at things differently. You have to look at, this is not a pen I'm selling. What I am providing is a service to someone who needs to be able to write. Someone who wants it, someone who needs it. And we have to understand that people don't buy things based on what they need. Let me say that again. People don't buy things based on what they need. They buy what they want and then rationalize the need. So you have to solve a problem. And how you solve the problem is creatively thinking, number 5, about what can I do to solve this problem. For example, the service I provide as an entrepreneur is speaker training and coaching. I recognize that everybody does not know how to put together a presentation or a speech, and they need and want to do it better. And when you are able to do it better, you're more confident. So really what I teach is confidence, but you cannot market confidence. So I figure out what is the need, creatively thinking, what is the problem that I solve? The problem that I solve is teaching others how to stand confidently and present their information clearly and succinctly. Then you have to be motivated on your own. Let me tell you, that's one of the hardest things as a successful entrepreneur. And why do I say that? Because when you work for a job, you don't have to be motivated, you just have to go. You go there, you do your work, you get a check. You go there, you do your work, you get a check. You go to work, you get a check. But as an entrepreneur, if you don't work, like the Bible says, you don't eat. If you don't work, you don't eat. And so there are times as an entrepreneur where you're going to feel like, I don't feel like doing this today. Many times I've felt that way. But I have to remember, this is my business. This is my livelihood. And so it is with you. You have to get up and be motivated yourself. You cannot wait for your sister, your mother, your brother, your friend, your coworker to say, you got a business. You got to get motivated. You have to have that internal wherewithal to say, this is my business and I am going to do it. Resiliency and tenacity. That goes along with being motivated. Resiliency. What does that mean? It means when you get knocked down, when things happen that you don't expect, you still got to keep going. You have to be tenacious. You have to be like a dog on a bone. You ever seen a hungry dog and try to take a bone from him? You ever seen a lion and he had a prey and he killed the prey and you try to walk in on him? You have to have that same tenacity. You have to have that same go get it, go after it, I have to have it attitude about your business. As an entrepreneur and a successful entrepreneur, those are some of the qualities you have to have. You have to take ownership for everything that happens. I have a team now, and that's a marvelous thing. I don't have to do everything myself. However, when my team doesn't meet the expectations of the company, I don't blame my team. I have to take ownership. I'm the owner. I'm the CEO. I'm the keeper of the keys. And so it is with you. You can't say, well, Otis, you didn't put the link in, or Otis, you didn't give me access. If it's my company, I have to take ownership. And that's what you have to do as a successful entrepreneur. Receptiveness to anything. Again, it means when you do your market analysis, you have to get ideas from other places, research, other people, other businesses that are like your business, and be receptive. If someone comes to you with a great idea, just because it's not your idea, doesn't mean you shouldn't be receptive to receive it and consider it and maybe employ it if it's a good idea. And passion. If you don't have passion about your business, how do you think anybody else is going to? Generally, entrepreneurs they're birthed out of something they enjoy doing. And when you enjoy doing something, like I enjoy training and teaching, I enjoy coaching, it's not work for me. And so it is for you. When you enjoy what you do, that's your passion. When you enjoy whatever it is that God has placed in you as a gift to do, and you do that with all of your heart, that's the passion. It doesn't make you feel like you're working. And the ability to walk in another person's shoes. You have to have the ability to walk in another person's shoes. What does that mean? What that means is, in order for you as an entrepreneur to figure out what a person wants, you got to think like they might be thinking. This person in my business would be a person who wants to stand up confidently and is terrified. How do I get that feeling of another person? I want to feel the terrifying feeling, how they feel when they're standing up in front of an audience. And then I take that, standing in their shoes, and turn it around to make them feel comfortable and confident by what I provide as a product and a service. If that makes sense, Type in the chat for me, makes sense. Type in the chat, makes sense. And I'm looking to the chat to see who's typing in there. All right. So here's how we're starting your business. The first thing you want to do is have a proof of concept. Thank you, Alvin. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, Diamond. I appreciate that. Thank you, George. Welcome back, George. Good to see you out there. But what I want you to do first step is proof of concept. You have an idea. That's a concept. You have an idea. It's a concept. Your idea, will it work? How will you know if it will work? Well, we are living in the greatest time in history because information is at our fingertips. And I like to call Google Dr. Google. So you just go to Dr. Google and say, what is my proof of concept is this. I need to know if there are other people doing what I do, whatever that is. Are other people doing this, blank, whatever it is? You type it in. And then you begin to look at other businesses that are doing the same or similar things to what you're doing. Are they successful? How long have they been in business? How do they solve a problem? Because there is nothing new under the sun. So your concept, your idea, your business, your product, your service has been done before. And if you can find out how another person did it, guess what? And they're successful. Success leaves clues. Write that down. Success leaves clues. I want you to make sure you got that. Success leaves clues. And since success leaves clues, you can determine and find out and look up what other people are doing that you want to do. Instead of recreating a whole new wheel, go find out. That's your proof of concept. That's your market research. And in your market research, how many clients do they have? What are their customers saying about them? Are they getting ratings? Are they getting feedback? Do they have testimonials? Read what people are saying about them. And when you find out what other people are saying about a concept, an idea, a service, a product that you want to create, then maybe what they're missing is the place where you fit in. What they're not providing their customers or their clients is where you go in and solve that problem. That's a proof of concept. That's how you do your market research. Then you create a business plan. That's a whole long process. You have to know, where are you going to start your business? Has your business been done something similar to your business been done before? Do you know how much you're going to charge for your product or your service? Who are the people on your team? Do you have somebody that's going to help you with legal issues? Do you have somebody that's going to help you with accounting? Do you have somebody that's going to help you with marketing? Who are those people that you know that can help you? What's your team like? Do you have somebody that knows human resources and what laws are affecting your business? All of these things go into your business plan. Because if you don't plan, failing to plan is planning to fail. Write that down. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So you have to plan before you just jump into a business. And I can tell you, I have done that, jumped into many businesses, and I did not have a marketing plan. I did not have a business plan. I did not have a financial plan. And guess what? They failed. But I failed forward, because it's not a failure if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, it means you learned something from it. You don't fail, you fail forward, you learn from your mistakes. You learn from your missteps. You learn from your mishaps, and you keep it moving. That's what an entrepreneur does. That entrepreneur keeps it moving step by step. Yes. Establish. I'm moving very fast. Somebody said I'm moving very fast. Okay, so I'm going to slow it down. Establish your corporation. Okay, so before you even establish a corporation, you have to have a proof of concept. You have to do your research, market research. What market are you in? What happens in your market. Is your market one of those that's going to another level? There's a publication that I want you to write down. It's in the United States, but you can use it as long as you have access to the internet. It's free. You go to the Department of Labor. Let me write this down for you. Let me type this in the chat for you. It's dol.gov. So it's US, it's in the US, but it has valuable information. dol.gov. There's that link. I'd like for somebody to try it to see if you get access to it. And then when you go there, you want to search in the search bar OOH. Search OOH. I'm going to type that for you as well. And what you're searching is the OOH is called the Occupational Outlook Handbook. The Occupational Outlook Handbook. I need somebody to check that out and see if you can access the dol.gov. Now, you're in Liberia. They may not let you have access to it. Let me know if you don't have access to it, and I will share the link with you when we get off. But this periodical will show you the industry that you're looking for and what the trajectory is. What do I mean? We all want to be in a certain industry. I'm in the education and training industry. Somebody else might be in the tourism industry. But if you go to the OOH and search tourism or search education, you can find out whether or not this is an industry to be in the next 20 to 30 years. Now, if you search an industry that you're looking at and it tells you that that industry is shrinking or it's not going to be around in the next 20 years, why would you go into that? Why would you go into that industry? And that's the point. That's the point of doing your market research and your proof of concept. Then secondly, I talked to you about creating a business plan. If you don't plan, you will fail. So failing to plan is planning to fail. And then third, let's talk about establishing a corporation. You have to have a legitimate, licensed organization, an LLC or a corporation in your country. I am sure you have to have some type of licenses to conduct business by the rules. And that's the same way it is in the United States. You have to have a business license. And so I don't know the differences, but I do know you have to have licenses. And then your online presence. In today's society, and there was a time before now that you didn't have to have a website. It didn't matter. But now if you don't have a website, you are not looked at as being a legitimate business because people want to know about you before they buy from you. People want to know you, like you, or trust you, or all three before they will purchase and spend their hard-earned money with you. Because if I don't know you, and I don't like you, and certainly if I don't trust you, I am not about to pull out my wallet or my purse and spend money with you. And so you have to have an online presence. That means a website. That means an IG account, Instagram account, a LinkedIn profile. You have to have these things so that when people hear about you, the first thing they're gonna do, I should ask that question of you. When Otis said he was having the celebrity speaker trainer online with you today, how many of you went out and researched, looked me up to see if I was legit? Type in the chat for me. If you looked me up, say I did. If you looked me up to see what I do and how I do it, type I did. Type I did. All right, I don't know how that line came across my screen. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Darlington, Leroy, Leroy, yeah. People look you up. And so if you're in a legitimate business, then you don't have a problem with people looking you up. Is that right? Muhammad, you did. All right. Moses, you did. So, what are the benefits? I don't know where this line came from. What are the benefits of becoming an entrepreneur? Well, here are some benefits. As an entrepreneur, you can provide job opportunities to other people. How exciting is that? That you don't have to wait around for someone to hire you. You can hire people as an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs also increase competition because I just talked to you about the market research. Yeah. You could be that person who fulfills the need that another entrepreneur is not fulfilling. And that boosts productivity. Entrepreneurs also create new businesses in new markets. Somebody has their mic open. Entrepreneurs add national income. You're increasing the income for your country, for your state, for your city, for your town as an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurs are typically the ones who introduce new technologies, innovative new technologies. Those are some of the benefits of being an entrepreneur. So why do we talk about youth entrepreneur? If you looked at the chat when I asked the question, what ages are you? The statistic that I latest saw was that the average age of the African population is 19. And by doing a simple survey of the people on this call, of the people on this presentation, it seems to me that there were more people on the end of 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 than there were on the 37, 38, 39, 40 range. And what does that mean? What that means is there's a plethora of opportunities for young people to be entrepreneurs, young people to be owners of businesses, young people to take these nations to a whole nother level. That's what it means. Youth, young people who set up new businesses are seen as role models from their peers. How awesome is that? That you could be considered a role model simply because you started a business. Many success stories about entrepreneurs are linked to them because they were young when they started. And many success stories are still coming out today of young entrepreneurs who started at 17, 18, 19, and 20, and 21, and became successful over time. That doesn't mean that those of us who are older can't still be entrepreneurs, but the time is now if you are thinking about being an entrepreneur and you're a young person. A young person is more innovative and they have more time typically and more energy. I don't know if anybody has more energy than me, but that's okay. Most of the time, entrepreneurs that are young has more energy, they're more dynamic, they're more forceful, they're more moving. They are the ones who have that time and they're ready to take risks. Why? Because usually they don't have to risk a lot. They don't have it to risk at all. Older people who have families and who have responsibilities and who have bills, mountains of bills, they're not as likely to take on the risk that a young entrepreneur would take on. Why? Because I just said it. Young people typically have fewer family responsibilities and financial responsibilities. So now is the time. If you are a young person and you are thinking about going into business, you're doing the right thing, you're at the right place at the right time with the right mentor. Otis is willing and wanting and desiring to help lift you up as he rises, because that young man is rising as a youthpreneur and he's already taken the steps to show you the path. Why not learn from him? What happens sometimes is many times people get jealous. But guess what? Each and every single one of you listening to my voice right now was sent here with a gift. You were sent here with an assignment. You were sent here with a purpose. And your purpose is different from the next person, as different as your fingerprints. You can't have the same fingerprints as anybody else on the planet. And your gift is different from everybody else. And so there are people that do the same thing I do. There are people that teach speakers. There are people that educate and coach. But my gift is still different. And so is yours. My gift is different because it's me. And there is no other me but me. There will never be another me but me. And there will never be another you but you. And so that's what makes you different. That's what makes me different. Because you have a gift inside of you. And this presentation and this connection is pulling apart those lies that people have told you that you can't be and you can't have and you can't do, because it's in you. It was born in you. It was in you when you were born. But today, now is the time for you to pull off and shed all of that negativity and realize that you are unique. You're the only one that can be you. You're the only one that can do what God has assigned you to do. Now, what's it going to be? Are you going to walk around and blame other people for your lack of motivation? Because the gift is in you. You have every single thing you need inside you to perform and fulfill the assignment that you have been given. And how do you figure it out? How do you figure it out? You figure it out by simply asking. Ask the Creator. My Bible says, my favorite book says, ASK, ask, seek, and knock. And whether you believe in the Bible or the Quran or whatever you believe in, you have been sent to this planet, to this earth for a reason. And your gifts are already planted. So stop listening to other people telling you you cannot do it. If it's in you to do it, take one step. Martin Luther King Jr. says you don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step and believe that you can do it. Why is entrepreneurship important for youth? These are skills, and skills that not are just for being an entrepreneur. These are life skills. These skills that you learn being an entrepreneur are going to take you wherever you want to go. Whether you start out as an entrepreneur and decide, nah, that's not for me, the skills you learn as an entrepreneur will take you throughout your life. It keeps you from being excluded from the labor market. I know that there are places in the world where there are no jobs or very few jobs to be had. But if you take the creativity that's in your mind and create a product or service that someone else needs, that someone else has a problem that can be solved, and you solve that problem, you won't be excluded from the labor market. But you have to constantly be thinking, what's the problem I can solve? What's the thing that people need and want? And when you can figure out that and answer that question, you will never be hungry again. Entrepreneurship is a real tool for a secure future. Because once you've figured out what that need is, that problem you solve, you will always have security in your future. And I did that twice, so I must have meant to say it twice. Entrepreneurship is really a tool for a secure future. I love these comments. At this point, I want to open the chat for questions. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I love